Hope you're doing well and welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to talk about my 10 favorite Ace Frehley guitar solos. Now if you're familiar with the channel, you know that I grew up a Kiss fan. Ace is why I play guitar, and Ace is a big inspiration for a lot of guitar players that we know and love today. Dimebag Darrell, John 5, guys from Anthrax, Lenny Kravitz. There's a lot of bands and a lot of guitar players that Ace has influenced over the years, and I think that's what makes Ace important. Not that he's a great innovator, or he's coming up with some crazy new techniques. It's just the fact that he inspired so many people. That being said, though, I don't want to minimize Ace's abilities, because Ace is what I call the perfect song guy. He is a guy that knows exactly what to play in a solo with. His vocabulary, he's a blues rock guy, but his note choice, his phrasing, his vibrato, and he's got a certain touch and a certain feel that he can't be duplicated. So for that reason, Ace then and even now, I still consider one of my favorite guitar players. And alright, here we go. Counting down from 10 to 1. My number 10 favorite Ace Frehley guitar solo. Speeding Back to My Baby, off of Ace's 78 solo record. The song starts off with an Ace Frehley lick. One of his, he's got a whole bag of licks, and this is one of his most well-known ones. But then when the solo kicks in, that first double stop, it's almost like the car screeching to a halt. Again, it's a perfect marriage of the solo with the song. And then he just goes on a little rampage, lots of pull-offs, lots of hammer-ons, slides, all the typical stuff that he does. And then he's got a doubling effect there at the end as a tail out for the solo. It's just fantastic. If you've not listened to Ace Frehley's 1978 solo album, that's a must listen. So for number 10, Speed Back to My Baby. And number 9, off of my favorite Kiss record, Rock and Roll Over, is Ace's lead on Making Love. This is the closest that Ace comes to, shredding on any record. This is the fastest he's played on any record that I can think of anyway. It's just absolutely blaring. He's just tearing through the pentatonics, and again, it's so tasty, and his feel, that the tone of the guitar on that solo too is exceptional. Everybody knows about Ace Frehley's tone. It's all about a Les Paul and a Marshall. He's the reason why I'm obsessed with Les Pauls. Anyways, that solo, it's absolutely killer. It's rapid fire. It's intense. Again, just like all his solos, it takes a great song and it just makes it better. So for my number 9, Making Love off of Rock and Roll Over. My number 8, now this is a deep cut. This is off Hotter Than Hell. This is a song that they played a lot when they started doing the acoustic thing later on. The song's called Going Blind. It's a Gene Simmons song. Now there is a super, very melodic Ace lead in the middle of that song that it's absolutely note perfect. It's got these really just beautiful controlled bends that he does, and it's nothing flashy, but it's in the pocket. It's so melodic, and it just makes that song very special. So for my number 8, it's Going Blind off of Hotter Than Hell. For my number 7, I'm going right back to Ace's 1978 solo album. The song is called I'm in Need of Love. Now, quite often in a lot of Kiss songs, there's usually a build up to the solo. In this case, there's an absolute tempo change, because the song is kind of slow, and then when that solo comes in, it's a complete tempo change. It steps up, and Ace is just ripping away. Beautiful phrasing, nice little licks. Again, the guitar sounds fantastic in it. And then once the solo's over, comes right back down. So it's the perfect Ace solo served on a platter. So for my number 7, I'm in Need of Love off of the 78 Ace Frehley solo album. Right, and for my number 6, this is another deep cut. This is off the Love Gun album. Song is called "I Got Love for Sale." It's a Gene tune. I mean, the opening lick on that, Ace has one of his things that he does is he'll hit a bend note and then he does this very slow staccato, descend on it, and that's how he opens that solo. And he's just got such great control in his bending. I mean, that's a really cool lick, and that's something I have a hell of a hard time doing myself. And then, of course, it just expands from there. So you got the great solo there in the middle, and then the tag out, he goes nuts again, and he's playing a really haunting that a very familiar lick that he's done many times, and it just sounds so haunting in the tag out. Just great playing again on Ace's part. Takes that song, just makes it better. So number 6, off a Love Gun, Got Love for Sale. All right, for number 5, this is off Address to Kill. Song's called Love Her All I Can. There's this is one of those solos that's set up where the band just stops and it's just the guitar going, and Ace is doing this very high hammer on and pull off lick that he's changing from chords to chord, and it's so melodic and it just suits the song perfectly, and it's really hard to play. It's a big stretch. And yeah, again, that in that particular song, that solo is like integral to the song because it's perfectly set up. And again, it's just Ace at his melodic best. Yeah, so for my number 5, Love Her All I Can, off Address to Kill. For my number 4, this has to be on the list. Off the very first record, the first song that Ace actually played with Kiss when he was auditioning, and of course I'm talking about Deuce. What a great lead. I mean, this is the lead that got him the job, really. I mean, it's fantastic. It's got the solo in the middle of the song, and then it's got this really amazing tag out. It just, again, all the Aceisms are in there. The bend, the vibrato, and again he's got that feel in his hands. It's just a great solo, and Deuce, very common opener for them on a lot of tours. Anyways, so there's my number 4, Deuce off of the first record, Kiss. All right, we're down to the final 3. So for my number 3, this is again off Rock and Roll Over, my favorite Kiss album, and this is Calling Dr. Love. The way the solo opens up, he does this really low note bend that just, I call it a dinosaur bend, and he does this quite often. He does it on another song I'll be talking about shortly. Anyways, just the opening bend of that. I mean, right there, that first note, for me, the solo is already a winner. Everything he does on top of that is gravy. But just a fantastic solo. It's a great Gene song. Funny enough, most of my favorite solos of Ace are on Gene songs, surprisingly. Well, Making Love wasn't, but anyway. But yeah, just, a fantastic lead. It's set up perfectly. And again, it takes a great Gene song and makes an even better Gene song. But that first band is killer. Anyways, so for my number 3, Calling Dr. Love, off of Rock and Roll Over. All right, for my number 2, this would probably be most people's number 1. This is sort of his signature solo. This is, of course, off of Love Gun. I'm talking about Shock Me. This is Ace's, first singing debut with the band, and he's got a really amazing solo in the song. It's what's cool about it is he does a lot of really cool stuff in there. He mixes some, chromatic stuff in there, and then of course the pentatonic stuff in there, and it just flows really, really nicely. It's a great lead, absolutely fantastic lead, and yeah, but it's not my number 1. My number 1, well, you'll hear about it in a minute. But for my number 2, Shock Me off a Love Gun, absolutely fantastic. All right. And for my number 1, I'm going with another deep cut. This is a song that should have got a lot of love. Should have been played live. Never was. It's off Hotter Than Hell. I'm talking about Strange Ways. Ace, his solo on this song is absolute note perfection. In the solo, he's using an effect. I've heard it, people tell me it's a vibe, it's a phaser, it's a flanger. He is using an effect on this, but it's not the effect. It's his attack, it's his notes, it's his vibrato, it's his phrasing. All the things that make Ace great are in this one solo. If you've never heard the song Strange Ways, check it out. It's like a crushing tune. The solo is phenomenal. Phenomenal. It's always been, yeah, for the last 5 years or so, been my favorite Ace Frehley guitar solo. These other ones in my list, they can change, but Strange Ways is always, you know, a little above all the rest. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you've hung out this long, thanks for watching. If you're Ace fans, very cool. Please leave your comments below. Let me know what your favorite Ace Frehley guitar solos are, and we'll catch you soon. Cheers.